Is it getting hot in here?
When you get that feeling, stop and say to yourself, hey, I'm on the frontier of my comfort zone, one toe out, and I'm going to be outside.
Boy, it's beautiful out here.
Squirrel! Squirrel!
Learn how to make more money and get your questions answered by Deb and Jen.
Hey everyone, good morning. It's Coach Deb here with the Deb and Jen Show. Jen was a little way late in traffic. She'll be joining us in just a minute or two, but we wanted to get started and let you know we do have a theme for today.
You have to have a theme.
We'll always have a theme in case you can't think of any questions, but just want to listen in, and that's perfectly fine. Also, just a reminder, you can email a question to us ahead of time, and you don't even have to be present for us to answer it. Obviously, it's better in case there's an interaction, a little bit of back and forth, but even if you're not here, we'll go ahead and answer your question to the best of our ability. So today we wanted to broach the subject of what is the lifestyle of an entrepreneur? What does it take to be a successful entrepreneur and monetize? In other words, grow your business, bring in the income that you want so that you can create the lifestyle that you want. And there's so much that goes into this, but we promised last week that we would address the question of shiny object syndrome.
So shiny.
So one of the pitfalls and the myths we want to bust is that to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to just keep getting more and more and more information.
Yeah, just keep it coming.
And actually, that's not true. It can work against you. It's not a lot of information that you need. Yes, you do need some baseline information, but it really is more about, do I have enough information to get started talking to people? Hey, Jen, nice to see you. We told them you were a little bit hung up in traffic, so yay, you're here.
Thank you.
So I just coached. Sorry, what?
No, you're good. I was like, I was a little bit hung up in traffic, and then my Wi-Fi wouldn't start. I'm like, come on. So thank you for kicking it off.
No
Yeah.
worries. So we just, I just covered the idea that we're talking about what it takes to be an entrepreneur, the lifestyle of an entrepreneur, and some of the myths we want to bust. And one of the pitfalls we started with, it was the bright, shiny object syndrome, thinking I need more in order to be successful. And look, a squirrel.
Squirrel! Squirrel!
So that's a very tempting outlet for entrepreneurs. And what do we mean by that? Sometimes we think, oh, if I just had this one more thing, I'll make it happen.
I just need to add one last ingredient.
Or it'll be successful, or I can get more sales, or I'll be better at marketing. And the truth of the matter is, there's one source of information that's better than anything you'll find online from any provider, including us. And that is your ideal client.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
So the sooner you know who you want to talk to, who you want to build your business around, who you're serving, the sooner you want to be out there talking to them, finding out what their challenges are, their problems are, so that you can directly hone in on with your course, your program, your service, your product, overcoming those exact challenges and problems. No one else can give that to you except your ideal clients. And here's the bonus.
Bonus!
No one else will give it to you in their language than your ideal clients. And why is that important? Because when we can speak in our clients' language, they more readily self-identify and go, oh, wow, they really get me. They understand. She totally gets me. He understands where I'm coming from.
You guys totally get me!
And you've got a leg up against other competitors who are just blah, 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 chat GPT language, no personality. So, all right, Jen, do you want to add something there about bright, shiny object syndrome?
You know what? There's so many things I could say about bright, shiny object syndrome. One of the things that I see, especially if you're a speaker or you want to use speaking to grow your business, or if you're an online coach or entrepreneur, is that people jump ship really quickly. They say, oh, I've got this idea, I've got this audience, I got this problem, I've got this thing that I might want to deliver. And then something else shiny comes across what I usually say your desk, even though we don't always have like work desks where mail is anymore. But something else comes across your desk.
So pretty!
And you think, oh, maybe this is it. Maybe this is the magic bullet. And it's so easy to switch gears and say, oh, maybe I should buy this program. But wait, maybe I should start that. Like, there's no end to the number of things that will be presented to you. And I think that's really something that's important if you're an online entrepreneur, speaker, coach, etc., is to realize that that's not going to stop. You're not going to be less solicited, less marketed to. And just because a new idea seems enticing, it doesn't mean that the old idea was wrong or bad, or you're on the wrong track. And oftentimes what I find the source of this, like, like reiterating or pivoting, like, choosing a new idea. I'm going to go jumping ship. The source of that is that we tend to bump into our comfort zone. We think, okay, like, I got this. I'm excited about this idea. Most of us get to the same point. Like we get, let's say we've decided to do some live videos. Let's say we've decided to create a course. We get to the point that we're comfortable with. And then when discomfort kicks in, we're like, oh, I don't want to be seen. I don't want to market. I don't want to have a sales conversation. I don't want to ask for money. I don't want to get in front of a room and actually speak.
Run away! Run away!
I just want to think about speaking because that seems fun, right? Then our ego says, hey, you know what? I got a better idea. Maybe you should, and then fill in the blank. We go right back to something that puts us back at the beginning of our entrepreneurial journey again. And that keeps us stalling and stalling and stalling. So I feel like the real cost of shiny object syndrome is that a month, a year, a decade goes by and you're doing the exact same thing that you did before. And not a lot has really changed.
What year was it?
So there's something to be said for going deep instead of staying shallow and wide, and staying in your lane and saying, you know what? It's going to be uncomfortable. I'm going to learn new skills, but I'm going to stick with this until I figure it out. And that, my friends, is a key to actually creating a business and not just thinking about creating a business.
Yeah, it's so important. And so let's see if we can summarize this into a few steps. Okay. So you're going along, you're building a course or a coaching program and like, woo, this is really good. And then you run up against some uncomfortability, like it's getting close. You're going to have to market or whatever.
Is it getting hot in here?
When you get that feeling, stop and say to yourself, hey, I'm on the frontier of my comfort zone, one toe out, and I'm going to be outside.
Boy, it's beautiful out here.
Yay. Why? Because that's where your opportunity is. That's where growth occurs. So seize that opportunity, like Jen said. Otherwise, you'll be in the same place 12 months from now. You seize that opportunity. Get support if you need it, a coach. Come ask us questions. Take it one step at a time. But know that your growth and ultimately your success is on the other side of that sphere. Like if you draw a circle and that's your comfort zone.
So out of my comfort zone.
Secondly, when we're bombarded with all these ads on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, buy this program, learn how to do this. You want to ask yourself, is this really necessary right now? Is this the next best thing I need right now in order to grow? And unless you can make a case as to why it's better than talking to 10 ideal clients about what you do,
How can I help?
you don't need it right now. And newsflash, it's never the last chance for anything. Marketers are experts at raising up FOMO. Oh, you're going to miss out. Last chance. Doors are closing. No, look, they're in business just like you, and they're going to keep on marketing. It's never going to be the last chance. Might it be the last chance at that price? Yeah, because instead of $4.97, they're going to do $4.98. Okay, so don't worry. It's still going to be there. I remember I used to buy clothes because I'm thinking, oh, they're never going to make another pink blazer like this. Yeah, every year since they've been making pink blazers. So, everybody let go of that fear of FOMO and realize your greatest opportunity is by leaping or at least tenderly putting a toe outside your comfort zone so that you can grow and so that your business can grow. Because if it's not growing where you are now, you've got to change something in the equation. And that usually means taking more action. You can't grow your business without taking action. It's not about input, it's about output. Jen, what do you want to add to that?
Love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, I would say making friends with the fear. I'd like to when going back to the jumping ship idea and adding in a skill set that you can use is we often think that if we're afraid, if we're nervous, if something doesn't feel right, that we're on the wrong path. And that causes shiny object syndrome to kick in. You start to look for other options. So I want you to realize that fear doesn't go away. And fear in and of itself is not bad. Being nervous, being afraid, being excited are all very similar emotions. So just because you feel nervous sometimes, you feel afraid sometimes, doesn't mean you're on the wrong path. And to imagine that you're not going to feel anything other than this is amazing all the time is fooling yourself. So to attach the meaning of this is the wrong path to fear is actually something that will keep you stuck in the shiny object syndrome forever. So I want you to know that you just make friends with the fear, right? If you ever watch Talladega Nights, like there's this cougar that's in the car named Karen. You have to make friends with the fear, go along, bring it with you, because it's not going anywhere. And frankly, I'm going to give you some proof of this, actually. Think of a time when perhaps even logging into a Zoom call felt nerve-wracking a little bit, like back when Zoom started.
It can't be seen like this.
There were people that are like, oh my gosh, I got to be on camera. What about my hair? What about my makeup? Like people are going to see in my living room. People did not want to get on Zoom initially. And you may have had that experience as well. But now, after we all do it, we do it all the time. Do you feel something logging into Zoom? Are you like, oh my gosh, what if they see me? What if I like, probably not. And if you do, not to the same extent that you did, several years ago when Zoom became the thing.
I think I got the hang of it.
That being said, once you make peace with that fear, then guess what? There's the next level. There's the next challenge. So maybe you're comfortable logging into Zoom, but the idea of hosting your own call or doing a Facebook Live still evokes a chemical response in your body, some emotion.
There is no way I'm going out there.
So just so you know, the fear doesn't go away. It just changes. It changes form. It changes shape. And you learn to embrace it and make friends with it. And that will help to cure shiny object syndrome.
I could live without it.
That's excellent. And another tip might be, if you have trepidation about doing something, like you want to contact your first ideal client and have a discovery call or just a simple conversation. It doesn't have to have any objective at all, just other than to get to know them and what matters to them. And you're really nervous about it, do it anyway, but have scheduled ahead of time another call with a friend or a colleague that says, hey, can I just have you on call after my call so that we can debrief it and I can decompress and let that in? Because sometimes that's all you need, is you need somebody to say, hey, good job, you did it. And so if that would support you, that's another tip. You got any other tips like that, Jen?
Well, also I usually have a ritual or a routine that I do to prep for something. Like if you're feeling nervous, let's say it is about a sales call or an enrollment conversation, getting yourself in state will help to reduce that fear, which again leads to reducing shiny object syndrome. That's the theme of today's show. So having a ritual or a routine. For me, I make sure that my space is clear and clean and I like it and my desk isn't a mess. I also will make sure I have water. So in case, or even gum, I don't chew gum often, but I'll have it in case I get a little cough. I just want to have that available. In addition, if I'm really nervous, I actually love to play some music and sing a song and dance around and move my energy.
Look at me, I'm dancing crazy.
So, this is a great segue into lifestyle of an entrepreneur. We've pretty much already broached the subject. There's a lot we could say about this, but just general distractions in general. And, you're writing a course and all of a sudden you find yourself on Pinterest looking at pink Christmas ornaments and you think, oh, that's really cool. And you can't figure out how 2 hours went by, but oh, you were distracted from the task at hand. So there's a lot of strategies. Jen, you seem a bit frozen. There's a lot of strategies to overcome that. And that is to give yourself permission to do that at certain times, but to not let that interfere with your actual work time. So you look at your weekly calendar and you say, okay, these exact hours are reserved for course creation or for marketing or for other elements that are important. I'm going to make my phone calls on Friday from 1 to 2, and you stick to that. You don't let yourself be distracted. When you find yourself procrastinating or getting distracted, it's usually because you have apprehension around pursuing the task that that you have to do. And then if you think about it a little bit longer, you'll realize this really has to do with the fear that I have around that task. This is where having a coach really is an important thing, because they can unpack what's really going on with you and help you get into action more quickly, stop procrastinating, while also having time to walk the dog or explore Christmas ornaments on Pinterest or whatever else it is that you might want to do. So a little bit about the lifestyle of an entrepreneur. It is a roller coaster. We're talking about bright, shiny object syndrome. And you have to be disciplined. You have to create a framework and a construct whereby you can be successful. Know what your best working hours are. Know what's the best time for you to be coaching or speaking or doing a webinar, and choose those mindfully, carefully, and plan them out in your calendar. The worst thing we can do as entrepreneurs is to just wing it, right? Because when you wing it, you're going to get results that look like you winged it.
I just winged it.
Wung it, whatever the past tense is. So encouraging you to time block and really have some structure around how you want to be an entrepreneur, and don't let yourself be interrupted. You know, say, this is my business. This is where I shine. This is where I'm going to really take off. This is sacred time for me, and let it be that. Jen, you got any more comments around that?
Well, I actually got kicked off and kicked back on. I thought I was just making space for B to come in and say hi. Good to see you. Hi. Yeah, so I apologize. I didn't hear actually what you were just saying.
I was talking about how, lifestyle of an entrepreneur can be full of ups and downs, like a roller coaster, and having some structure and putting it on your calendar is a great way to stay focused. And then if you want to go on Pinterest and explore Christmas ornaments, say, I'm going to do that on Friday from 2 to 3, and go ahead and do it. But give yourself permission, but don't let that interfere with what your task is for that day. And if you don't want to devote 8 hours on one day, then do 2 hours. Do what you know you can do, and maybe then take a long lunch and a walk, and then come back and do another 2-3 hours. It's your business to get to schedule it the way you want, but make sure you're not procrastinating or getting distracted because you're apprehensive about the thing that you need to do.
It's being really honest about that feeling when you look at your calendar. And like, if you had an appointment, let's say that anyone on this call had an appointment with me or an appointment with Deb, I'm guessing you would show up for it. I would advise you to treat the appointments with yourself exactly the same way, so that you can notice if you are just getting distracted or putting it off. A lot of times entrepreneurs were quick starts. We're like, oh, I'm going to get this done. That you could have a long list and get so many things done during the day. And oftentimes it's things that are just timely, that are like fires you have to put out. To truly grow your business with consistency, like where you actually hit the goals that you set, honestly, it does require having some intention and some commitment to yourself. So treat your calendar like sacred time, because not calendaring things, I know, like, we're entrepreneurs, we don't want to be tied down. I will tell you, if you truly want to grow a business, a calendar will set you free. It won't tie you down, which is amazing. I always go back to the Ronco roaster commercial.
A 6-pound chicken.
I don't know if you've seen that or not, but you can look it up.
A pork loin roast.
Ronco, Ronco roaster, where their tagline was, set it and forget it.
Set it and forget it.
And it was this idea that you put a chicken in a roaster and you set the timer and you just walk away and you come back and there's this amazing dinner.
In about 1 hour, the chicken is done.
The same thing applies for your calendar. Like, I put everything in my calendar now, because the moment I do, I forget about it. I'm like, good, it's in there. And then I just do what my calendar tells me to do. And why this applies to the shiny object syndrome theme of today is because, again, if you're not managing your business like a business, if you're not setting goals and using your calendar to make sure you get the things done, the alternative to that is you're stuck in your emotion. Like, I don't know what I feel like. Oh, I feel stressed, so I'm going to respond to my stress or my fear or I need to make some money, or you're at the mercy of what comes your way, as opposed to you really taking charge of your business. So I cannot say enough, and it feels so kind of geeky to say it, I cannot say enough about how life-changing calendaring your goals and your actions will be for your business. So if you've kind of halfway embraced it, but you haven't really done it yet, I would encourage you to do 1 or 2 weeks of the moment you have a thought, go, you know what, I'm going to put that in my calendar. And it'll start to shift for you. And I hope that someday you see the value, the emotional value in really embracing time blocking and calendaring.
You just it's as simple as that, folks.
So to sum up, being an entrepreneur is a bit of a roller coaster, an emotional roller coaster, time roller coaster. Things will come up that upset your apple cart. You have to just learn how to deal with them. But above all, having the structure of time blocking and calendaring will set you free. We all chose to be entrepreneurs to have the freedom, but you'll never be free if you're a slave to procrastination and winging it. You will never truly be free because there will always be this long list trailing after you of things that that weren't done, that were undone.
Yeah, that was some list.
And there's nothing more shackling than feeling that you have this long list like, ugh, didn't get to that again today. No, you want the freedom of knowing, boom, I did that today. I did this today. Oh, I'm feeling fantastic, right? So life of an entrepreneur. Okay. I'm going to shift gears a little bit because we had a question that came in on the chat.
Okay.
So let's see if we can tackle this a little bit before we sign off. What if we want our business to be the bright, shiny object to get other people's attention? You know, how do we appeal to them in a way that this is going to be a good one, Jen? How do we appeal in our marketing, whether we're using infographics or masterclasses or webinars, so that we don't come off as another bright, shiny object, but come off as a legitimate business that can truly help you create the transformation that you're seeking?
Is this for real?
Okay. There are
How's
many,
that for a loaded question?
there's so many things I could say. I'm going to pick my favorite, which is authenticity. I feel like a sexier term for it, but I'm going to tell you, like, showing up as yourself, I feel like is what makes you, it's the foundation to bright, shiny object syndrome. I truly believe it. I think if you try to be anyone else, like you see someone else online, you see someone else, some guru, some, celebrity, and you're like, oh, I'm going to be like them.
I want to be just like him.
Doesn't mean you can't use their energy as a role model or look at what they've done in their life and use them as a role model. But when you deny who you truly are, when you try to show up in some way that's not you, I personally believe that no matter how much marketing you have, no matter how much like, hey, like fake charisma you've got, people are going to see through that, like the BS of it. And so I think that being truly authentic is the foundational principle to being shiny, so that other people can see you and hear you. And then there's so much more that builds on that, which I'm imagining, Deb, you've got some feedback on that.
Well, no, that's really good. But just for the fact that we don't have all day to talk about this, which we actually could, I love the idea of being authentic and true to who you are. And also, one of the things that we can do that ChatGPT can't, that no one else can do like us, is show our genuine concern and passion for the work that we're doing. Like, I am totally committed to your success. I'm going to be walking side by side with you every step of the way to ensure that you reach X transformation. And I think that when people can get that sense from us of our humanity, of our caring, of our passion for their success, that speaks volumes versus like a Tony Robbins, I'm here for everyone. Yeah, but you're probably not going to get any personalized attention, right? If you need personalized attention, you want that, you crave that insight that will help catapult you, be that person on your master classes or your webinars or your social media videos. Be that person that says, look, I'm here for you. I've walked in your shoes. I've been doing this for 20 years and help people probably in a situation similar to what you're going through right now. Nothing gives me greater satisfaction and more fulfillment than watching my clients soar. That's authentic, right? That's personally how I feel. Say what you feel. Say what's authentic for you so people can see the real you, the authentic you, like Jen said.
Yeah. And it's okay if you don't get it textbook right. Whatever you think right is, like, let that go. But showing up and just being like, look, I'm here to help you. I actually care. And I think I can help you. Don't lie to people. If you don't think you can help them, then don't say you can. But if you actually think you can, even if you feel nervous about, what happens if they say yes, which could be a topic for another show. What happens when they say yes? Even if you're a little bit nervous about that, you'll know in your gut and your heart, if you think you can help that person and you tell them, I mean, you say it authentically, and it's humanity. I think we've tried to take humanity out of marketing, and it's impossible. You can do it, but it's not going to work. So the more, authentic, the more caring, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got be authentic, show your humanity, your passion for their success. And I'll add a third one so we can add these summaries at the end when we post. The third one would be do more listening than be a better listener than a talker. In other words, do more listening than feeling like you need to be listened to. And the way that you do that is you ask questions, you lean in, you say, tell me more about that. That sounds painful, or that sounds intriguing. Can you share with me how that showed up in your life or how that's affected your life? And do that genuinely. Again, none of this works if you're going to be inauthentic just to, quote, get the sale. Forget the sale. When you're authentic and you talk about the transformations that you create and people feel your authentic, passionate energy, they sense your humanity, they'll want to do business with you. It becomes a no-brainer. It becomes easy for them to say yes. I have to share a funny story. I was at a big event and somebody came up to me, and I guess they had heard me speak earlier, and they leaned over to me, said, I could really help you.
I can help.
And, you know, I've always carried a few extra pounds around, and I knew that they were in the health business, but that's not what they said. They leaned in and said, I could really help you. And I'm like, what? Design my next wedding dress? Pack for a holiday? Create my next Christmas craft?
Can you be a little more specific?
Like how? Like, why would you ever lead with that? Don't say dumb things like that.
What are you trying to say?
But that's really dumb. I could really help you. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah. X immediately. Right? So don't do things like that. Be sincere, be intentional, and be clear. Okay, that's my funny story for the day.
We got, like, I think from this show content, we'll be able to create additional, there's so many different topics that we can spin off from here. I will say, like, if you have questions, yes, I see there maybe some in the chat, and perhaps we can address them even on next show, like use them for a show topic. If you have questions, post them here, post them in the chat. We will keep them. And we'd love to answer your questions around sales, marketing, around messaging, and being able to speak to grow your business. So if you've ever thought of speaking to grow your business, whether that's live on stage in front of an audience, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Zoom, whether it's on a podcast, any place basically where you're opening your mouth to talk about your business, there are ways to be authentic. There are ways to organize your expertise that, again, going back to the organizational idea, that when you have that structure, it sets you free to go out and share your message. So if you can imagine having the marketing, the messaging, the design and the structure to deliver your content or your expertise in a way that you're like, yeah, I know when I go, people are going to love it. They're going to want to do business with me. They're going to want to know more about it. Then show up, ask us your questions, show up here, and we would love to be of service to you.
Exactly. Thanks, Jen. And
Yeah.
Let's remember, nobody wants you to be perfect. In fact, no one wants to do business with perfect. You know, they shy away from perfect. Like, ooh, I don't know if I could interact with that person. So don't worry about that, because people want to do business with real. If we run up against a situation where our clients are now getting distracted with bright, shiny object syndrome, I always bring it back and say, why is that important to you right now? That'll help you achieve in the moment that you're not able to do. You know, what of that program or that coach or that whatever it is. Like I had someone say, oh, I'm going to sign up for a coach for $12,000 to do a TEDx talk. Okay. What do you hope to accomplish with that TEDx talk? Now, let's be clear on your intention. Will there be a return on that $12,000 investment? And if so, what does that look like to you? Rather than just jumping in the pool and being captured by the great marketing. But let's be intentional and ask the questions. And you can be intentional of your own clients and ask them the questions to get them back to center and to refocus. There may be legitimate times when it is the next right step. More often than not, it's a distraction from the work at hand, which is the real work to grow your business. Okay, so great topic, great discussion. We'll summarize our key points that we came up with. Any closing thoughts, Jen, on what we've talked about so today and lifestyle of an entrepreneur? We could have a whole show called Lifestyle of an Entrepreneur, because everything really enters into that. But we started.
I want to be on a beach for all of it, just so you know, for that show. The Lifestyles of an Entrepreneur is just going to be me on a beach, or us on a beach. We can go hang out.
Yeah, that's another one. Look at the guy standing by the jet with this Ferrari to the side, and he's like, "You could have this lifestyle." No, you can't. No, you can't. No.
Probably not his Ferrari, right?
No, it's not his Ferrari. He rented the plane, so just get over it already, okay?
Yeah. No,
I just say you can't have it all. Where would you put it?
That's a lot of stuff.
All right.
Yeah, shiny object syndrome is a real thing. It will continue to happen. You will continue to be bombarded. So just notice it, recognize it for what it is. But if you really, really think about it, you'll notice that it can have a massive impact in your business, stopping you from moving forward. So that's what I would just say. Is just my wrap up is to recognize it, know that you're never, the solicitation will not end. So rather than you trying to consume everything that comes to you, I want to encourage you to step back and say, what do I need right now for where I'm at in my business?
Yeah.
Chances are, if you're just starting out, yeah, you don't need to rent a jet. You can if you want, I guess, but you don't need to. You don't need to pay $12K for a TED talk. I had a client also who paid, I think it was $24,000 to fly to New York and have a little video made, like a 2-minute, 3-minute speaker reel video, and to get a speaker one sheet and some headshots. And honestly, okay, this is on or off the record. The speaker one sheet, I'm pretty sure, was a Canva template that was maybe the worst I maybe had ever seen. I'm like, did they make this in a Microsoft Word document and then just turn into a PDF?
That's all I get?
But she paid for it. And you know, what could she do? She was there. So $24,000 for a 2-minute speaker reel. And I said to her, I'm like, so can you tell me what the goal is? What's the purpose of the speaker reel? Like, who are you helping? What are you offering? Where are you going to share this? Like, why would someone book you because of this? And she's like, well, I don't know. They just asked me to tell my story. And so I just did that. And that was the end of it. And so say yes to things because you chose them, not because they, knock on your door.
Not just because you chose them, but you chose them with intention because you have a specific reason why it's going to help you right now advance your business. Let's be clear. When you're spending money on bright, shiny objects, you're not making money. They become a distraction from you actually earning money and getting clients that are going to pay you for your guidance, your expertise, your insights, etc. That's where you grow your business. Okay. And you look, it's probably silly to say that women should stop buying shoes when they already have 50 pair, because if you're a shoe fanatic, you're just going to keep buying shoes. And it's kind of a poor analogy, because do you ever really need more than 2 or 3 pairs of shoes? No, it's nice to have, but we get into the same syndrome when it comes to our business. Ooh, that would be nice to have. No, it wouldn't, especially right now. You don't need it right now. So delay. And if it circles back in 3 months, have another look, or delay and ask yourself, is the delay costing me or benefiting me? Probably going to benefit you. All right, so we're at the closing time, and we want to thank you all for joining us. As always, these will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, Deb and Jen Show, and you can access that from the debandjenshow.com website, where you can see our shows that are already up there. And we want to thank you, and a reminder, you can send your questions in ahead of time if you like. You don't even have to come on camera. You can be anonymous, and we'll answer them anyway.
Thank you. Wonderful to see you all. Love talking about business, sales, marketing, speaking, messaging, etc. So yeah, it's been a pleasure. If you have questions, bring them our way, but we look forward to seeing you next week.
Okay, that's all for now, everyone. See you next time.
See you later. Bye.